And let's break this conversation down in two parts. Let's start with the procedure. And then we'll come to the specifics about do we need more judges, because there's a lot there to unpack. But let's start with the procedure. Is it regular to have the Chief Justice initiate this process of recommending to the President names to the Supreme Court?
Evan, thank you very much. If you say initiate the process, maybe I think what is not regular is the Chief Justice directly writing, suggesting names to the presidency. But when it comes to appointments at that level, there are two bodies that made the nominations. We have the Bar, the Ghana Bar Association, the Office of the Attorney General, and also the Chief Justice, that is the judiciary. So initiating the process, yes, she can suggest names, those names.
By herself?
By herself and
Can
her
suggest
team.
name.
And her team.
Can just suggest names to the President? Really?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
I'm building a point.
Okay.
And all these names by these bodies will have to go to the Judicial Council. Okay. The Judicial Council then makes a recommendation advising the President on the list submitted. Mm-hmm. But once it's just an advice, not binding on the President. But the President too does not have that right to suggest his own names. So he can only say, I am dealing with, or I accept all the names you have brought, or I'll drop some and use some, or I reject all of them. But he will have to come back to for the process to begin all over. So the Chief Justice regularly does not have to write suggesting names directly to the President. But she has that right as part of the judiciary to suggest a name to the Judicial Council.
The Judicial Council. And I read the Constitution, it says the other justices of the Supreme Court shall be appointed by the President on advice. So the President initiates the process?
No, before the President does that, she gets a recommendation from the Judicial Council. That is why it's on advice of the Judicial Council and in consultation of the Council of State.
But he can have his own original list and come to the Judicial Council?
No, he cannot do that. The only time he does that is in the appointment of the Chief Justice. That one, he does it alone in consultation with the Council of State with approval of Parliament.
So you're saying that the Judicial Council initiates a process?
Yes.
And then, of course, then the advice say, okay, these are the 5 people we advise you to appoint.
Yes. But it's not binding on him.
Of course, it's an advice.
But he can also prepare his own list. He cannot name anybody. The names must come from the judicial.
But if it's an advice, he can turn it down.
So turning it down, the authorities...
He would have still consulted you. It would have still taken your advice.
You may have to say that for these 5, I don't think that they are competent to do this job. Bring me another 5. But he cannot suggest names.
Okay. So your verdict on the Chief Justice writing directly to the President is that it's, what, irregular or unconstitutional?
Well, for me, it's irregular.
But it is unconstitutional, is it not?
Because I don't think that she's saying that those people should be appointed. If she had gone ahead to appoint them, I would have said so. For me, I would describe it as irregular. Because, I say irregular because